So guess what? The Clintons are back in the spotlight again, folks, with their new Apple TV series called GUTSY, hosted by Hillary and Chelsea Clinton. Which, if it's a show called GUTSY, those are kind of the least likely candidates to host a show like that. Just kind of a conundrum I was facing when they announced that. Like, you're doing a show about intelligent, important women in society. Really? Hosted by these two? But it goes to show you, again, it's one big club and you ain't in it, just like George Carlin always said. But there's a lot to be said about this series because it just premiered and there's a lot of commentary to it. So, for example, Jacobin points this out. They tweeted out that Hillary and Chelsea Clinton's new show, GUTSY, includes genuinely fascinating people, but Hillary Clinton's own politics sharply limits the scope and range of real female gutsiness in the world that the series is able to showcase. You mean, so people like Jill Stein probably won't be featured on that show? Genuine, interesting people. Julian Assange's wife, Claire Daly, who's my new favorite member of the European Parliament. Not going to show those people? I guess they're going to pick and choose who's gutsy and who isn't. I mean, the fact that it's a show to showcase female gutsiness and female empowerment, and it's hosted by one of the biggest war criminals known to the world kind, and the daughter who is on the board of one of the largest publications to scapegoat her mother's crazy criminal cabal. It's just insane. It's just obviously insane. And speaking of insanity, and I already regret doing this news article because I have to show a clip of The View, and you know my disgust for The View. Like I'm just sick and tired of the daytime talk show genre in general, but The View is definitely on the lowest peg of the daytime totem pole. It is just not a whole. It's not a good show. Let's just say that it's not a well thought out, intelligent show. I like the idea that it was good in theory that they were going to bring on smart, intelligent women. They're going to discuss issues of the day. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Unfortunately, that's not the case with The View. And there's a joke going around, I think Tim Dillon was the first to mention it, that there's a lot of smart, intelligent women out there. Trust me, there's a lot of smart, intelligent, fascinating women out there that I would love to meet and have chats with, and I would love to see in the spotlight. Even they will not join this show. They will not ever step foot on a show like this because of just how pathetic it is and how it's just a billionaire brunch for these ladies. Like, it's not intellectual. It's not anything critical. It's not an actual fact-based show. It's more just, wine sipping with the ladies. Like, it's unbelievable. But they had Hillary and Chelsea Clinton on the show because the show premiered on Apple TV Plus, and it's a big club. You ain't in it. So, of course, they're going to have billionaires with other billionaires and corrupt politicians talk about this and listen to what they have to say.
Series, we got a sneak peek of it. It is so good, and it's going to be incredible, and everyone's going to watch it. But I want to dive into hot topics.
Oh, let's do it.
That's my thing. So the FBI seized more than 11,000 documents from Mar-a-Lago.
Wait, just 11,000?
It's 11,000
like not
that
one.
we know of right now.
Yeah, 11.
Like, I'm so thrilled about this show and so how grateful it is because it's like all about female empowerment and you're like the most corrupted female ever. But I gotta take a moment to take about hot topics. And I'm gonna choose this one and laugh about the fact that the FBI raided somebody's house. Isn't it just fun? I mean, Hillary Clinton always said she was a fun person. Now we can laugh about the fact that the most corrupted organization of law enforcement raided a former president's house and took a bunch of documents. raided a former president's house. And they're going to laugh about it. Like, ha, 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 ha. Oh, God, good times, good times. We sat back, we, had some cocktails, we just laughed about it. Like, ha, ha, Orange Man got raided. Ah! Holy crap. Again, this goes to show you how The View is just complete garbage. The View is just such complete garbage. Like, the fact that they set this up purposely, like, oh, I want to talk about the show, but we're just going to go for a second, unexpectedly, and talk about your former opponent and how you trained the FBI that's on your side and part of the establishment side to raid a former president's house. Jesus.
325 of the documents retrieved since Trump left office were marked classified. There were also 40-some-odd folders that were empty. They were also marked classified. What was your hot take when you heard about this?
This is, again, why I just can't stand The View. Because she mentioned about all the documents, but doesn't actually say what the classified documents contain. Because if you actually read the reports and the articles, which we actually dove through when the FBI raid happened, and we went through article after article and did a full in-depth investigation on it, it was proven that there was nothing of the sort that was actually harmful for the general public. That the former president just had documents just like any other former president has, including this one, but unlike Hillary Clinton, Trump wasn't able to delete it. It wasn't on his private server. And that's why they're having such a hard time with this and why they're going after the Orange Man. Not because he's different from the establishment, because we all knew when he was governing as President Trump, he was definitely embarking the establishment ego. He definitely played a part into it. But the reason they wanted to raid President Trump versus, Barack Obama and Martha's Vineyard is because the fact that Trump is a bad image to the establishment. Trump is hurting the establishment brand. And that's why they did what they did. Because they still want to pin him as some sort of awful buffoon of a game show host that he is. Even though he is no different than the buffoon we have now with Joe Biden or the buffoon we had before with Barack Obama. He is no different than any other president, but they're going to attack him because he tarnished the brand, the reputation of the establishment full of criminals and god-awful people.
Well, look, I mean, I think this should be taken really seriously.
Yeah.
And it's not a joking matter.
And it shouldn't be partisan.
No.
And
It's not a joking matter. You literally just laughed after they said FBI raid. Like, this should be taken seriously. It's no effing matter. Oh, it's Trump? Oh my God. They raided Mar-a-Lago. That could have been me, but I prevented it from myself. They're so corrupted. That's Hillary Clinton's classic hits right there, right? She keeps saying it's no laughing matter, but she'll cackle at the points where, anyone against her. My opponent's going down. Bernie Sanders is a sexist. You're all crazy. You're all a bunch of deplorables.
it shouldn't be partisan.
No.
It should concern every American, because those documents and the empty folders, as they were marked, suggest that there was really important secret information that is essential to our country's defense and security. And when the report came out yesterday...
If anyone's ever taken the time to read WikiLeaks and all the shit that they published about the Democrats, all the emails that were leaked from the Clinton campaign, all the emails that were leaked by the DNC, the actual emails specifically say that the stuff that they were doing was not helpful to national security whatsoever. They were willing to punish, torture, start up, terrorist organizations. Hillary Clinton even admitted in 2010 to being in part of the creation of the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. Why? Because they wanted to go against the Soviets. So they created a terrorist organization, flourished them with money and weapons, and guess what? That became Al-Qaeda, that became the Taliban. We continued to flourish them to the point of no return, and now we're fighting our own creation. So those documents that are supposed to help national security, they're not in the interest of helping national security because the whole political system is not there to help us. It's not there to make us secure. It's the fearmonger. It's supposed to, they're full of war criminals. Of course, it has nothing to do with protecting one another. You're trusting national security with the biggest warmongers known to mankind. Of course, it has nothing to do with national security. That's why it's classified. That's why they will never tell you to the general public. That's why they had a problem with WikiLeaks, and they want to do everything that they can to take down Julian Assange. It's nothing to do with security. It has to do with their security. It's to protect them and their criminal activity.
That the documents also included information about, we don't know which, an ally or an adversary's nuclear program. I cannot tell you how terrifying that is.
Yeah.
And Alyssa, you know, because you were at the Defense Department. There were times when I was Secretary.
Oh, good. A Defense Department representative is hosting this show. Not anyone important or anyone of value. Again, this is why I just cannot stand this show. I really cannot stand it. And I get the point of it. I get the purpose. It's daytime TV. It's not there to be, intellectually great. But like I said, there's a lot of great, smart, terrific, wonderful women out there that I've seen and adored and I love and love to hear more from. Thank God they're not on a program like this. Thank God they would not step foot on this, because if they walked into this, I don't know what's going to happen. I'd rather listen to hours of, Katie Halper or Kim Iverson or Sabi Sabs or any of those women who are very, very qualified, very intellectual. They have great presence. They have wonderful ideas and they have wonderful shows. But I can't stand watching 5 minutes of this. Like Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg. Yes, they have different opinions, but they're all billionaires. They're all country club billionaire liberals. It's not diverse. There's no diverse conversations. There's no critical thinking. It's all propagandized. It's all reported to them by the basis of ABC. It really should just be called One View. Which I guess that's why it's not called The Views. Because there's no different opinions. There's no opposing sides.
Of State, that literally a military courier would come into my office. It would be an emergency. There wouldn't be time to get to the White House and have a meeting in what's called a SCIF, a secured facility. So usually a man, it was always a man as I remember, walked in. He would have like a briefcase locked to his wrist. And he would come into my office and he would say, "You have to look at this immediately, Secretary." He would unlock the briefcase. He would stand there. He would give me this document that had really delicate, secret information about something of importance. I would read it, then I would sign that I had read it. It would go back into the locked box, attached to his wrist, and off he would go. So I don't understand how these documents ended up where they are. I don't understand.
Because I wanted to have them for my private server, but I don't know where the hell they went to now. I mean, it's a lot harder to delete them and hide them away from the general public when somebody else is in control of it. That's what it sounds like she's saying. It literally what it sounds like. Like, I don't know how to control this. I don't know how to control this because now somebody else has the paperwork. Like, oh my God, how am I going to hide my crimes? How am I going to hide all the DNC corruption that I did, that I overthrew the 2016 primary, so that a socialist Jew would never get a chance to become president, the most popular politician at the time? Oh my God, how am I going to hide all this if someone else has the paperwork? It's in a locked box attached to a military guy.
Understand how he was permitted to take them even to the residence, let alone to a country club in Florida. I don't understand it.
Well, series
She doesn't understand it. She doesn't understand. This is just unbelievably crazy. It's unbelievably crazy. And again, it goes to show how one-sided this is. Because if they're so worried about classified documents, if they're so worried about the corruption of the institution of democracy, and this is about the Republic of America and the sanctity of this, why is it only Trump that the FBI raided? If you're really concerned about national security, if you're really concerned, where is the FBI storming into Martha's Vineyard? You know, where Barack Obama has 48 acres. Why is there FBI raids where the Clintons are staying, upstate New York? Where's the FBI raids on Crawford Ranch and the Bush mansion? Because we all know there's war crimes there. We all know that Barack Obama's hundreds of war crimes. Why is there no FBI raid on Delaware right now? Joe Biden and his war crimes. We all know that they're hiding secret documents. We all know. But specifically Trump is the awful one. Specifically. Why? Because we all know that Trump put a bad image on the rest of the establishment, the corrupted criminal cabal. It's not that he governed differently than them. It's because Trump was the cancer sore to the already disgusting disease of the status quo establishment that's oppressing us day to day, every single minute and second. That's what this is about. Trump is the cancer sore. Trump is the pimple of the establishment. So they have to do everything that they can to try to discredit him as much as possible, including having one of the most corrupted law enforcement institutions raid his private estate. Mar-a-Lago is where he's living. It's not just a country club. He lives there. Just like he lived at Trump Towers in New York. That is his personal address. That is his private address that he's living in. But they can't get it through their heads because they're stuck in this political, tribalistic conundrum. And just how crazy that is. But let's just remind ourselves, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We can go for hours and days on the corruption of the Clinton machine. But just an example here. Remember when this came out? Clinton campaign manager responds to reports suggesting Hillary Clinton wanted to drone Julian Assange. Now tell me, who do you think is better for national security? How do you put that together? How do you put that together, that Hillary Clinton is better for national security than a game show host? Because last I checked, Trump never said anything about droning a journalist. The last I checked. But there's been countless times where the Clinton regime, the DNC, the mainline Republicans even, want to attack this guy. Why? Because he was a threat to the institution. He was a threat to imperialism. He was a threat to the war machine cabal. He was the one that established what a criminal organization the Clinton campaign was. And they wanted to go after him for the fact of journalism. And they're doing everything that they can to stop a person like this. And the mainstream media is going along with it because they rather side with the political machine than realize that they're hurting themselves. Because if Julian Assange goes down, that's hurting. That's hurting the fact of journalism. You're silencing out one of your own. And this, I want to show this because this is kind of funny. But the FBI probe on Hillary Clinton that only lasted, what, a few days, maybe a week, where they were trying to investigate the fact that she used a private server, that she deleted thousands and thousands of pawn emails, that she had classified documents on her private server alone. The FBI was investigating about this and then immediately went away. Why? Because the Clinton campaign paid the FBI to start this thing called Russiagate. Oh, we're going to blame another country for the fact that our shitty ass freaking campaign lost to a game show host. They're going to blame an entire country on the other side of the world because their campaign lost to a game show host who didn't even want to be president at the time. He was the most frustrated, sad person when he won the election. He was shocked that he won against Hillary Clinton, but that goes to show you what a shitty campaign it was. And they went through probe after probe for a couple days, and then they came up with this brilliant idea of blaming another country. That's continued to last till this point now. They're still trying to blame Russia for the Democratic election in 2016. They're still trying to blame Russia after every single point in turn has failed. Every single point in term, we've discovered that it's complete, utter failure. And Hillary Clinton purposely, along with her campaign organizers, purposely designed into the mainstream media this narrative and this Red Bane McCarthy smears attacks on a daily basis to hide the fact that their campaign is unbelievably awful. They're a bunch of deplorables, to use Hillary Clinton's turn of phrase. But remember when this happened?
Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were...
Now imagine if Trump said that. Imagine if Trump said that. Well, you collected a bunch of what difference does it make? What difference does it make? I just want to continue to golf. What difference does it make? You know, if Trump said that right now about the FBI raid, mainstream media will go haywire. And they'll continue to go haywire. Oh my God, why the hell would he say something like that? Hillary Clinton said it out in the open about her emails, and nobody gave a shit. Oh, well, she's allowed to because legally... She did it legally somehow. There's a legal loophole. Yeah, she paid the FBI because the FBI is massively corrupted. They're the most corrupted law enforcement regime in America. Their whole goal, their whole objective is not about national security or protecting the citizenry in America. Their whole objective is to take down people like Trump, take down people like Bernie Sanders. They don't want populist movements. They want to protect the establishment. That is their objective. That's why they let Hillary Clinton slide for all these goddamn years. But Trump and his documents is so awful. A game show host having classified documents is such hair-raising insanity. But the most corrupted war criminal person like Hillary Clinton, doing the exact same thing with emails, she's able to get away with. Because what difference does it make?
Top secret. 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was permitted. There was no law, no regulations.
Secretary Clinton should have known that.
Yeah, everything I did wasn't wrong. There was no regulation. Yeah, you know why? Because you made the regulations. Your team made the regulations so that you were able to slide. Just like right now, Congress, the 20 members of Congress that are doing insider trading are the ones writing insider trading laws. Why? So they're able to get away with their own fucking crimes. Do you see how it's all one big, giant, corrupt machine? It's all one big, giant, corrupt criminal cabal. It's one big, giant club. You and I in it. And the reason they're going after Trump is because Trump happened to be the pimple that exposed the establishment. Trump was the thing that woke people up to realize, yeah, oh my God, we have no representation in America. You wonder why Congress is the least favorable in the entire nation, has the lowest approval rating. I think the highest I've ever seen of Congress is about like 22, 23%. Because of shit like this on a daily basis.
An unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence,
Nothing was
tremendous
marked.
amount,
Nothing was
tremendous
marked
amount.
classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my God.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains.
It was a mistake.
Have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains were top
It wasn't
secret.
the best choice.
6 of those chains
I said
secret.
it was a mistake.
And 8 contained confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains.
I made a mistake.
Have been determined to contain classified information.
So there you go. That was 2016, just literally a week, where James Comey made an announcement about the special probing, the raid of Hillary Clinton's emails that, believe me, were far more dangerous. Far more dangerous. And somehow that got swept under the rug. It was no big deal. No hot topic issue that The View was going to laugh about and say, ha ha ha, look at the FBI raid someone's private home. Ha! Yay, they're taking down the Orange Man. But this was able to sweep under the rug. But what difference does it make? Right? That's what the whole song kept saying. I wonder who made that. I think his name was Socialist.com or something like that. Made that remix. That was pretty impressive. But again, it goes to show you how politically charged this all was. It was all tribalistic. It's just another tale of the establishment trying to take down the Orange Buffoon, because the Orange Buffoon got into the establishment and exposed it for what it was. Exposed the criminal corruption and the plutocracy and the oligarchy within it. And he was an oligarch himself, but he was the cancer sore. He was the cold sore that was able to release it. He was able to manifest into people getting woken up and exposing the fact that we live in a corrupted institution. And now people are realizing that even further now, that it's just getting worse. And people are finally waking up to it. But it's amazing that still, I don't know if it's the fact that people still live in the United States of amnesia state where Hillary Clinton did, the corruption of her didn't matter at the time, and still apparently doesn't matter because everything's towards Trump and just how crazy it is. But, every time that I mention about this, again, I'm not defending Trump in any of this. If people know me, I was the original OG disliker of Trump. Like, I didn't even like him when The Apprentice was on. And that was a pretty garbage show, but when it comes to principal factors when an FBI is raiding someone's personal home, a private estate where the former president is staying, and stealing a bunch of documents because that president is somehow is your opponent and that's why you got to do it. It's very anti-democratic. Very, very anti-democratic. Imagine if they did that to the rest of the world. Imagine if right now Trudeau decided, hey, I'm going to send the RCMP after Pierre Poilievre and do a raid on his house. Do you know how insanely insane that is? That is like the state of fascism right there. That a political leader is going to purposely do a raid against their opposition. And what for? Because they're the opposition. Because they have a different viewpoint. And because Trump was an outsider, a bit of an outsider to the establishment, that made them cringe. That's why they did something like this. And they got a bunch of FBI informants who are also corrupted to go along with it. And there's many cases like that in across America, and they're going to continue this on forever, even though Trump's not in office. Trump's not part of any political agenda. He's not any part of government body, but they're still going to do it because Trump being in office and being that, pimple of the establishment exposed a lot. And trust me, I think that was more of a great thing for national security, for people to realize what a threat these people really are to us than the classified documents. Because people are finally waking up to realize the biggest terror groups, the biggest people perpetrating violence, the biggest people that are oppressing the most people is the United States government. And they're trying to export that all across the world. They're trying to get domination around the world. Like, it's just utterly insane. And the fact that people are willing to let this slide and laugh about the fact that the FBI just raided the personal home of a president and not remember when they did that in 2016 and how Hillary Clinton was able to sweep by, but everyone's so concerned about Trump. It just goes to show you how one-sided this all really is.